Drama in Jönköping. The casters made so much noise, had so much fun, that they actually blew the power out in the caster booth. And so they'll join me on the analyst desk instead. Pansy and Risk are hanging out here for the DreamHack Open. Once again, that's the trophy and 100,000 on the line as we venture into our third. This time, it is going to be back into Group A and the first for Mouse and Immortals.
I'm so short.
I can't believe.
I'm so short.
Maybe
if
I'm
you
just
didn't realize,
so tall, so.
Pansy is an actual like legal little person. I think you're actually like. Do you get like benefits?
Challenged.
Yeah, you actually get benefits for that, right?
Must
Helps
be something.
me.
Yeah, you're like 1 inch over the line.
The Scoots to bring me the box. He
Yeah, he gets a
it.
box. Yeah. I remember we did have a box for Caden, not Caden. He was giant. Who was
very
it?
tall
We had a box for someone in.
Probably Chobra.
Yes, the small yet powerful host. Anyway, we've got some Counter-Strike and it is going down right now. They're on the stage, so I'm going to be loving you and leaving you after predictions. What are your expectations for this one? I think the desk had like pretty much a coin toss for this one.
I think that's pretty much on point because these two teams are so close to each other.
Yeah.
I'm leaning Mousesports because I like the way that they have structured the team.
Robs. He's a Robs fanboy.
Also Robs,
So
but
am
actually Robs is okay, Robs is fine, but I really like the way Oscar and Lau play in this team.
Okay.
And the way that they play around them. And you actually mentioned it on the desk, like, Oscar, he's so good, but in this team he's not actually mentioned as a star.
He doesn't need to be.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the best part of it, because that just shows how well structured they are, when Oscar doesn't need to top rank every single game.
The taming of the star team. Mousesports have completely changed their story. Lauren, what's your call?
I've got to go with Mousesports just because they're purely within my radar more than their opponents.
Fair.
I get to see Mousesports a lot more, and I saw them kind of grow through the Pro League once they got
Saw them in Dallas as well.
Exactly, the Dallas edition and how well they did. You know, it wasn't the deepest run that I think they could have gone on. I think there was a lot more to be seen. I'm hoping this is where we start to see them really peak in their LAN performances. I think there was a couple of moments where you saw that little bit of nerves in there, and you know, not quite having the same sort of impact that they do in the online environment. So I'm hoping this is the event where they really just come into their own.
Yeah.
But it's a great improvement from what they were to where they are now.
And for me, I think I'll actually kind of join you as well, since we're all doing predictions. I think Immortals have looked mortal in some of their performances as of late. They definitely can bleed. It's not a pun. They have shown that they are not the most fantastic at times, but KNG, maybe he can wrap it together. You see him talking there. We'll leave it to you guys, though. The casters, Risk and Pansy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex. And yeah, we're going to be casting from here, but it doesn't mean any different for the action, because I assure you this is going to be a great game. I always like watching Immortals, as much as I am probably more favorable to the way Mousesports play at the moment, because I saw that growth. I think that you look at Immortals and you see like Henny there, you see a lot of the power they bring. It's very hard to ignore that.
Definitely, and also we have to take into account that Immortals right now, and they're not a team in shambles, but they're still a team that's like going through a reconstruction period, because they are playing with KNG, who came in, of course, from that Brazilian team who lived in Sweden, who was called Red Reserve before. Now he's in here with Immortals, and he's doing really well. But is it enough?
Well, I think it was during Dallas when I first got to see what he could bring. He was actually bringing a lot of the firepower.
Yes.
Before, you know, when Henny wasn't able, it was on Inferno. It was one of the first games they played during the group stage, and you know, Henny wasn't quite there yet. They were having a very tough game, and then you know, KNG started to come alive, and you see this potential. But that was the first real event they had him in, so you could see them kind of having to deal with the fact of, you know, a new player comes in, you're always going to be slightly behind what you can really fully do. Actually, it takes a lot, even just to add one player, it changes a lot of the dynamic. So again, I think I was seeing a lot of the process there, and I'm just waiting to see the progression, right? From we've just added this new player to okay, now we're starting to really flesh ourselves out as a roster.
Definitely, and this is obviously what they came here to do in Jönköping in Sweden here, because they wanted to prove themselves that they can compete with the likes of course, the big brothers of SK Gaming and teams like that. But it is still yet to be shown, and this could be one of the tournaments that allows them to do this, and I'm hoping for it, because they are a team that's very fun to follow, also personality-wise, of course. They got everything going on, very likable team and everything, so of course you always want them to do well. Yeah,
we'll see what they can do. Map time being cobbled, though, it's weird, right? I look and I think this is a good map for Immortals. You start to think about Henny going off on this map, and it's hard to look past that. But then I know the Mousesports have a lovely playstyle on this too, so I'm looking forward to them. I want to see if Dennis comes alive in this one. Robs as well, certain potential for it. And here we go, a quick hit. It looks like maybe a split towards B, a bit of a 3-2, 3 down drop, 2 towards Platinum already. A bit of a passive hold from the Immortals, but a nice connection from Henny towards Dennis, and now Bolts be under pressure, but plays out cool. None connecting though. How are they allowed to get away with this? Chris J just sleeps over the rock, but it doesn't matter. They got the step towards the side, but nothing further.
That was really, really nice to see to hold their fire Immortals on that bomb side and just making everything work. Even despite one of the players missing a couple of bullets and a terrorist allowed to go in almost towards the bomb side, they still lock it down because they have these kind of crossfires and they have all the positions mapped out. Everyone, and this again, this is the sign of everyone knows exactly what they're doing because this is the round they've practiced a lot, so they know exactly what the positions are and if this push happens, what they're going to do as it happens. And now want to, of course, win that pistol round. We're going to see Mousesports buying some Tech 9s and maybe going for a bit of a train rush here again.
Yeah, straight down in towards drop. Good pressure, but they back away well. Henny then tries to come in and support, but actually Christian overwhelms. But where do you go from now? This is where things get a bit tricky. It's like, well, we got drop, guys. Right, what more can we do? The UMP's come alive in this one. KNG, they're going to be racking up the frags, so building some good money for the Immortal side. And that is the general problem with the Tech 9 train strategy, is that when you get to a point where you have to go out into the open and face long-range weaponry, that strategy just doesn't work anymore. So you need to have a plan with that. You can just take drop and then say, okay, we're going to find out what we're going to do if we get to drop and when we get to drop, because then you're going to be locked out, as we saw here. KNG just mopping up. Yeah, good start for him so far, dealing with well. It seems like Mousesports just literally want to get going quickly. It's rush everywhere, rush everything, and now a clean eco. So just going to suffer through this one. Anything you get is a benefit. Any kills, even a bomb plant, brilliant. That's, you know, things that dreams are made of, but very unlikely.
So yeah, the Glock, of course, it's good long range and gonna have to get up close and personal against the UMP 45. That's not a good situation either. So, oh, as I say that, Henny just gets dinked long range and is now on 57 HP, so take that back then.
But really, Immortals shouldn't even lose a player at this point. Nope. Drop becomes a bit of an issue if you maybe get caught reloading, if they overwhelm. But there's not even a single flash. That's the thing. Normally if there's like a flash or something, you might be able to catch someone off, but at this point, every single player from Immortals can back away from the position they're in. KNG doesn't need to overcommit here. Now you can see them trying to punish that reload. Brilliant fall back to the pistol. Crisp as you like. Very nice, KNG.
Yeah, and you said it there, because he after getting that first kill, he could safely rotate back, but he just stays there because he knows he's up against the Nico. Of course, that's kind of like the difference in a player in his confidence levels and his personality. Some players will take the frag and then rotate back because that is normally the clever thing to do, but other players have so much self-confidence in that situation that they just stay there. He goes pretty much pistol against pistol and still wins the duel, and that's awesome for him because he needs that confidence to keep on rolling because he is the new player on the team. Everyone is expecting something of him.
Yeah, and now looking at the bike coming from Mousesports, no AWP to be seen just yet, but a roster that can truly do well with AWPs is this team. Now, honestly, ROPS as well, a lot of people, you know, oh, we got a little boost there on towards the Titanic spot. Very nice. We'll come back to that. But a lot of people, when they first saw Robster in his team, thought he'd just be purely like a power player. You know, he does rerolling, you know, the FPL scene, but he very much himself discusses the fact that he's a bit of a lurker. He likes to play, you know, quite a smart approach. But I like this from the Immortals. They can leave that one player up on the boost just to keep full middle control and not have to worry about it too much. But they are getting real estate here, which is great. KNG's going to hear a lot of these steps, and Lucas will have to respond accordingly.
Let's see how they're going to make it work. Still one player on the opposite end of the bomb site for Mousesports, as they are getting ready for the say it takes. So I would love for them to fake in towards B and then hit that A side right now, but it's not happening.
Well, KNG seeing nothing in middle might make them, I guess, just fully look towards long, which actually is a bit of a shout. Sadly for Lucas, he doesn't get the shot he wanted. Oscar already breaks in. Now he tries to respond. KNG just throws himself in there. It doesn't go too well for him, but that's steal coming through. That's the rotate player you want to be seeing coming up with the kills here. Down to the 3v3. Look at Rops' position. He's really trying to be, you know, I guess the cat amongst, you know, the pigeons at this point. He wants to keep them on their toes. And now you're going to see Henny trying to fight back. That's the shot you want to be remembering. And now it's 2v2.
See it. Lau and Dennis against Bolton and Henny. Only one flashbang between the remaining terrorist and a shot to be had, and it's going to be Lau.
Really like Lau's position. Initially, the only downfall to that is the fact that you can get pushed from that middle section and you're very, very vulnerable. But you know you've got Dennis on the site, and that's a shutout. So well done to Mouse to finally get themselves in this game. They seem to be playing not necessarily one-dimensional CS, but we haven't seen any, you know, like fakes. We haven't seen any defaults. It's been these kind of like all-in plays almost. So, you know, it's been that very aggressive play towards long. We've seen a lot of the rounds just pistols were like, you know, just dive in, boys. But doesn't matter. It's 1-3. Immortals still have good money though. Double AWP going to be straight answered up. That's KNG picking that up with Henny.
This one's going to be interesting to see. KNG, as we mentioned in the short preview here, has of course played the AWP role before. The desk mentioned it as well. and he can play a very, very, very good AWP, and that's what he was known for. And now we also know that he can play a strong AK as well, being put into this team. So he's kind of like this all-around player that can do pretty much everything you put him on. And so far, 3-1. Can't argue against that. And Lucas in a position. If the terrorists decide to come in rushing, he has a teammate to do the refract if he dies, and that is the case. So now KNG needs to come in, and he misses the shot and gets leg shotted as well. So that was not how that was supposed to work out at all for Immortals. Now the terrorists they do have the map control, they have the 1 kill advantage and the damage, and now Rob's coming in from drop zone, getting bolts as well.
That's a power play from Robs there. Already spotting the one by the window, knowing that there's going to be someone there, then getting the frag anyway. KNG desperately looking for a way back into this. I think he might have spotted or heard the players running over towards B though, so hopefully he can just kind of call out to his teammates like, guys, get ready for this. You've got to be prepared for what's about to be coming your way. You can see how passive they're holding as well for Immortals. Very, very far back, one by Cooper. Oh, he gets caught, Oscar! Gonna find him, and now it's completely free reign pretty much for Mousesports. Henny, you've got to dig deep, my friend, and find something to do with this one. Waiting. Oh, just looks away at the wrong time. That could have been a bit of information. Now here we go. Christian runs out, gets a bit of a tag. Now the next player comes in as well. Oh my word, Steel's knocked down another. This was a 5v2. Rops, it's on you. You already did well by Drop, but there, finally takes down Steel. They know where the last man is. But to try and get out of this situation is going to be tough. 15 seconds. The bomb is all the way over towards A. Henny has to get past Rops to get this one done. He knows it as well, but I don't know if he'll guess the position. He won't. And right in the back, there it is. Rops. Great playthrough Drop.
And I'm not sure if my headset is working. I have no sound, but I can hear myself, so I should be good. No worries then. But yeah, that was a beautiful round coming in there, and Mousesports bouncing back. And Rob's, of course, a player that everyone is talking about. Like, what can he do when he comes into the real situation here, and when he starts like getting into the game? And right now, of course, he's doing well. But Rob's in 6 months. How far can he go?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It's what more can he do? How far can he push this sort of career? Because we know individually what he's like, and you just watch him. I know Sponge is a big fan. If you ever see him on an analysis desk talking about this guy, he's got a lot to say about him. And mostly very, very positive, of course. Now, Immortals this time, money-wise, the funds have run out. They're lovely reign for the first 3. Got some money in the bank. Good stuff. Now, not the case. You can see the approach from Mousesports, very passive. You got Christian watching the boost from all the way back in case someone tried to make a play up towards Drop. Not going to happen.
So, yeah. Mousesport waiting it out, making sure they don't overcommit to anything and make stupid mistakes. And here we go, just using the agility to clear out the positions, forcing Steel away. Pretty much textbook, take a drop control here for Mousesports. And, well, of course, if they push in now, Steel has the opportunity to get a frag, but I'm pretty sure Mousesports is aware of the situation, and he gets shot down.
Nicely done between Mousesports as well. Always in the position to trade in. If that CZ did find one, there's always someone there to just kind of get back into it. And now the remaining player, KNG, going to have to be kind of clutching at straws to find anything in this. Very, very powerful round from Mousesports. You can see they have such clear intent when they go for these sides. They're not throwing any fake punches or anything. They're going all in on this. So recovered very well once they go onto that buy. So good stuff from them. Rops leading the way thus far at the moment for those guys. But it's still early days. It's not exactly like he's breaking out ahead of the others. We saw what KNG could do as well for the other side. Yeah,
as you say, like, it's very simple Counter-Strike right now for Mousesports, but if it's working, then that's fine. There's no reason to change anything. If the simple strategy of throwing at Immortals is working, then you can easily just save them for later on in the tournament, because I'm absolutely sure Mousesports have more advanced stuff than what they're showing us right now. But if it works, I'll try and fix it.
Yeah, and I'm going to be kind of looking towards if Immortals go back to the double AWP when it's available. Don't think there was any kills coming through there at the end. I think he just got found with the, I think it was P250. So I'm wondering if they go right back to the double AWP when it's available to them. I don't know if it is just yet. So again, curious to see if that's it. Because it puts your CT side on a knife's edge, right? There's a lot of people, analysis especially, are very, very critical of the double AWP, but more and more teams seem to be going towards it. It's even on Cobble specifically, but still, they've absconded away from every AWP. I don't think they can even afford it here. So just a rifle buy coming in for the CT side. Still a MAC-10 as well towards LOL. So I guess you're just banging it in towards Drop, you know what I mean? You just go in, you're like, all right, screw it. If I get a kill, brilliant. Even if I just win Drop, perfect as well. So now, Rop's already working out towards Plat. Gonna be getting the molly down towards Coop. Nicely done, starting to rain in, and now you can see the nades coming through. The smokes are coming out. Bolts blinded, can't do much about this, has to sit back. This might be retake time, but the timing! He doesn't need to see them, but through the smoke, he finds another! That is perfect from Bolts, and KNG locks down Drop. We've got a game on our hands, finally.
Let's see here. 2v4. Oscar with the bomb is still dropped. This one behind Rock. He misses the shot, and
Oscar.
that's Steel taking the frag. And now it's all on Chris J. And this is pretty much mission impossible because this is not going to happen. And he is taken out. Immortals taking it out. And as you said, we got a game on our hands. These teams are trading round for round and both battling it out. And that is just perfect from Bolt. Just holding that rock, getting double frags. Smoke doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think he saw the traces from Rups, but the first shot, there was nothing to give that away unless, we missed something there, his teammates saw it, but still, to be that precise, very impressive. And Immortals recovered very well, so credit to them for holding that together. And bearing in mind as well, if KNG wasn't able to, completely keep control of the drop, that wouldn't have happened either. So it all works out well, and now we finally see a boost coming in. Now, I'm not sure if they've seen this. Last round, Chris J was watching for this, but a dry play towards Platt coming out here, and that is something you don't expect. Oscar this time won't miss. He finds the opposite number, and now here we go. Finally, it starts to kick off a bit. Bit of a back and forth goes in, but finally, Mousesports break through.
This is back and forth because right now, Mousesports are just stepping it back now. 1v4. Oh, he's so close to getting that because that would have been the bomb. And Dennis now mops it up, but what if he hit that shot and hit the close range as well? 1v2 with the bomb down, but it doesn't matter. Mousesports bounces back and ties it up.
And I actually like that from Mousesports, going in without using any of their utility, almost just kind of taking the fights, not giving away too much of the game. Yep. Really well played out. Oscar hitting the first one. Because it's a topic that doesn't get discussed as much anymore because it's not as relevant because he doesn't choke at events. Oscar's really rounded out his play. He took a bit of a step back and he came back in so much stronger. But it always makes you worry when you see him miss a couple of sitters. You can tell he's a very emotional player. So you do wonder, will that affect him down the line? Looks like he recovered just fine into that round. So maybe you can see him really kind of developing as a more stable player overall. Yeah. So it's good to see here.
Yeah, and I think Mousesports, in the position they're in right now, is a very good platform for him to do that because there's not too much pressure on him, but there's no pressure at all. So it's kind of like that golden middle ground that he has right now, where he really can develop as a player and really can step into a bigger role in the future. But right now, of course, something that doesn't have a big role is Immortals in this round with only a couple of pistols.
We were saying it was back and forward in the rounds. Now the problem being for a CT side, kind of sucks when your money is in these back and forward rounds. For the Ts, you can kind of suffer through it, right? You can always kind of cobble together a buy, excuse the pun, but it is now a bit of a problem considering we're just down to pistols. A couple of P250s up, not much more. And lol there, gonna find one. I think they spotted another out on the side. Dennis gonna charge for that. Nice and clean, almost no damage taken. Mousesports keeping them at arm's length. Clean and easy.
And Bolt and Henny trying to get the best of it right now. Hoping for a couple of exit frags here, maybe grabbing an AK and saving that. See, I don't think Mousesports are going to allow it because that's one thing I like about Mousesports as well. When they get into a bomb site and then that post-plant position, they are so well structured. They know exactly what everyone is doing and they're not peeking. They're just holding the positions. They're not taking any chances. And there we go. Actually, Lau goes in and goes for a peek, but gets Henny in, it's fine. Calculated risk. And Bolt will not get anything.
No. Gets away with P250 in his life. That's all you can ask for. There it is. So, at this point, Mousesports keep things all together. But I want to see if anyone really breaks into just stringing together rounds, because it feels like at the moment very back and forward. We've seen a lot of aggression from Mousesports. Double ops straight away. As soon as available for Immortals, they go straight to this, which I don't mind it because it does work so often, but it always terrifies me slightly. If you get put in a retake position, you're screwed. If you get put in any slightly bad position with it, you're in trouble. And with an aggressive side like Mousesports, we're going to be in for a bit of a round here. Straight through the window. Are they splitting A fast or what? They're just going for this. KNG instantly turns, spots one out. He knows more pressure's on the way. Here's the steps. He knows there's everyone coming around. He plays this calm, but not calm enough. Chris J double checks, and he finds him.
See here, 3v4. Dennis is very low on HP, and this is where the lack of utility is actually hitting them because they know exactly where the terrorists are coming from, but they can't flash themselves in. They can't use a Molotov to block something off. And now right now it's all down to firepower. Bolt and Lucas both picking up one, and now it's 3v2, and Dennis is still low HP. Picks up one though. 2v2 bomb planted.
But they've got to know there's a player on long. He got a kill there, didn't he? Yeah, it was okay. That's an interesting one. Bolt's now last alive. 1v1. Chris J does have a molly, but where is that bomb planted? Right at the back of the site. He can get the molly down. He doesn't need to get this one away. Bolt, he gets the shot. The molly comes in. It's not quite on the bomb, but it will spread to it. That's going to be a lot harder to deal with, even though Chris J is on almost no HP. There's so few options here for Bolt. He's going back in on no kit as well. 9 seconds. 8, it's ticking down, and Chris J, he tries to make the peak in the last couple of seconds, but that clock is ticking fast.
I have absolutely no idea how far it is because I can't hear the bomb, but it's looking like he's going to make it. So Bolt's getting the defuse there. And 5-5 is the scoreline. So very tense game between these two teams. And as we expected, the desk said it, we said it as well. It was almost going to be a 50-50. And they're delivering it right now.
But it's going to be so costly for the CTs. They're going for the double AWPs. They've had this kind of up and down game thus far. So you're going to see, again, UMPs coming out. You don't have that kind of fallback plan. If you're down to one person, the opposition's getting bomb plants, these back and forth rounds are going to become painful. They need to stabilize now and try and just smooth out the rest of the game. But again, you look at this. Mousesports still surround, come back in with a better buy. They've got all of the utility they want. They've got all the guns they want. They've got the AWP up on Oscar. I'm wondering to see the distribution again with the AWP as well between him and Chris J. They do take, it's very side dependent, map dependent.
Yep.
Really want to see how this one pans out for them. So far, Oscar's had some really good moments in that one missed shot, but we'll see if he can smooth out his game as well towards the later stages of this map.
Really like Immortals. Even though they have a limited buy here, they're still saving on the smokes. They still have 3 smokes to go here because that's a mistake that a lot of lower level teams do when they have this kind of buy that's not perfect. They'll throw like 4 smokes out in the beginning of the round to block for an eventual push, and then they'll be stuck at like 1 minute 30 remaining with no smokes whatsoever. This mistake is not being done right now by Immortals, and I have to give them credit for that. Still 2 smokes remaining here. Or is that a flashbang? I can't actually see. 1 smoke remaining, my bad.
Yeah, Bolt's pushing up as well. I like this. You're being a proactive CT side. You're not just sitting back. Good information play. There's still a player let loose a drop. That will be a threat possibly down the line, but they have to try and bear the brunt right now because the Immortals are ready. They are willing, and they are in such a good spot. Lucas there just mows them down, the UMPs, tear them apart, and the Mousesports side are wondering, how the hell do they know all of this? Robs was surely watching our back. No, he couldn't see it all, and that's how it happened. Immortals in the right place and at the right time.
Absolutely perfect round there for them, and that fully blind UMP 45 spray is just, what can you do against that? It's just nothing.
Because he had the lineup a second, but then it was the second kill that he got where he just runs in like da 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 da. What can you do?
Now Mousesports are running this 4 AK 1 Tech 9 kind of setup that is pretty common nowadays, but it all comes down to how you're going to use it. And if you're going to go for a quick push, which is what they're doing, this comes into play. Let's see Steel getting the first one. Nate comes in. Surely now he's holding the position, and Steel is doing work right now. He's doing work. He's getting every single frag. And rotates back. Perfect round from Steel.
Yeah, a bit of a slam dunk
1 HP to survive as well, I think.
So nice there. Just played it out well. You can see him always wanting to go to the nade when he fell back towards window. He's like, no, they're going to try and push me. Instantly readied himself. First player was flashed. That's lulled down, but the rest had a fighting chance, but he held that window like a champ. We know what happens at this window. It is a meat grinder if you just pile into it, and he just made the most of it. So nicely done. Immortals get themselves towards 7. 5-7 as we speak. And, well, the money is finally depleted away from Mousesports. He felt they had some good money in the bank for quite some time there, but now just down to those couple of Deagles, I guess, and a couple of Tech 9s, and maybe that's all you need.
Yeah. When you're Ops, that Deagle, it's everything.
It's an animal.
Lucas also goes down, so despite them having a bunch of pistols and nothing else, this is still looking like a good start for them. Good damage being done, but now Bolt steps in, takes out Robs, and that's all the aggression towards B now gone. Mousesports have to make a new game plan. Where do they want to go now? They have done some damage, they must know this, and they've got a kill on the opposite bomb side, so it's all on them. What's the plan here?
Well, I like the position from the Immortals, even though they haven't seen too much. They're playing quite deep in towards A, so they're not allowing themselves to be run over by pistols or allowing these mistakes to happen where you fall and then, a rifle falls into someone's hands and it all spirals away. It's not a bad shout to be doing, but they're down to, 48 seconds? Ooh, KNG not landing the shot there, goes back in. Oscar goes down. But they have slowly worked, well, not even slowly, they have worked their way up middle. But now, here we go, Lucas comes into it. That's a good shutdown so far. Only 1 kill really coming through from that push in the end, so good work from the Immortals.
Yeah, of course, these are rounds that Immortals should win, but I like the fact that they're winning them with such ease. It's not hard for them to do it, because that's the problem we see sometimes with pistols in CSGO, with P250s, with the Tech 9s, with the Deagles, that sometimes they can just win a round if the CTs don't watch out.
Yeah, exactly. If you get complacent in any way, you know you can be punished. And, well, these guys are keeping control of it. It seems like the Brazilian teams do have a good mindset for that. We look at SK as one of the teams who do it as well.
Yeah.
Even on their T side, they approach very nicely. Now KNG, ooh, that looked on him. Do it! The tag! Look at that! Oscar, you're going to be reeling off that one.
8 HP to survive, and as we mentioned time and time again, that double up setup on Immortals on that CT side is working wonders for them right now. Oscar taken down to a very low amount of HP as they are trying to execute towards this A bomb side. Lucas in a great position in the middle of things, and KNG then holding the longer angle and tries to do the spray transfer, gets the first one, not the second, but still good hold.
KNG's now in trouble though. He can't back away freely because they're pushing up middle. He's got support coming through finally from the balcony, but they could be anywhere by now. Lovely adjustment though. Chris J gets completely spanked back, and the follow-up is sublime. Spots another, and it's an absolute masterclass from KNG. You do not see that every day.
That was pixel perfect from KNG there. What a round from him. And it's what he needs. Let's be real, he needs to come into this team, he needs to make sure that he can do the roles that he's given, but also the roles that he wants to have in the future and how he wants to grow with this team. And right now he's showing that, yes, you have good AWPers, I'm a very good secondary AWPer as well.
That was so nice, so nice.
Auto sniper.
Is it out?
Here we go.
Oh, Lord above. Lucas, why have you got to do this to us? Why are you like this?
All right, here we go. Scrappy buy for Mousesports. Not a lot of utility on them.
Where is the auto sniper? Where is Lucas playing it? I'm kind of curious. I can't actually see the minimap. We're casting from the analysis desk. It's far away. But I'm sure we'll find out soon.
We'll find out. Henny with the AWP at Chicken. Misses the shot, though. This could be the opening. Rob's on low HP, though. Ball's close range.
Yeah, Boltso gets overwhelmed. Those Tech-9s come in leaping. Steel as well now going to throw himself into the mix. Spots one by Coop, gets the shot done. No, it was KNG to actually get this one through. Now Lol starts to flex into the situation, but it's all KNG. This guy, where is he coming from and where is he finding these shots?
Wow. Okay.
There he is.
This is not DE Cobblestone anymore. It's just DE KNG because he is just mopping the floor right now with Mousesports. It looked very close in the beginning, and then KNG just decided to connect to the server and just wreck everyone completely. There's 3 or 4 rounds in a row where he's just taking everyone out.
I don't know what to say about that. The one round he did, the round prior, was like, all right, that's pretty nice. That's not bad at all. This, though, from his perspective, let's see this. All right, up close shot towards a player pushing out drop. Peeking over towards the stairs, very nice. Waiting for the next pixel of a pick. This guy. All right, there's something to be said about someone.
He knows exactly where everyone is. That's also the knowledge you have, also from the information from your teammates, but also the way that you structure yourself around the map and what positions you spot at the correct time. It's just perfect from him, and that's you don't see rounds that are played that perfect from players because usually you gamble on a 50-50 and you choose a specific position. The other player's not there, and then you get shot in the back or something like that. This time, everything just works out.
Wow, I'm thoroughly impressed. We're actually getting a very good game here between these two. I'm liking it. I kind of banked a little bit more on Mousesports coming in with a little bit. I don't know. It seemed very straightforward approach from Mousesports. There wasn't that kind of tactical depth. It seemed very, very brute force-ish. And now here we go. Bit of a big hit comes through towards B plat, it seems. Good counter flash slowing them down though, so now Lol can back away, choose a new position if he fancies it, something he can actually back away with. And now Rob's going to be doing the same thing. We're going to see the smoke coming through to play, and the Immortals have to hit the site now.
The push comes in, and Rob's in the perfect position on the back of the spawn site on Chicken Coop. Smokes are coming in from the terrace as well. Chris J, Dennis, both with 1. And now it's all of a sudden 3 terrace remaining. Lucas low on HP as well, trying to get into the bomb site, but nothing is happening where he's running in and dying. And all of a sudden, Mousesports bounce straight back with a perfect pistol round. Nothing done at all by Immortals. Very simple B push, puts a couple of smokes down, rushes into the bomb site, and gets nothing done.
It just didn't have the shots, it felt like. So sometimes I guess it can just boil down to something that simple. If you don't hit the shots, it just doesn't work out for you guys. But you got to feel it was just you're waiting for that trade to come in or a couple of kills, and it was just literally nothing. It was a very, very flat round from the Immortals, but time to come back through this one. Hopefully they've got another couple of bits in store for us. As double stack towards long from Mousesports. Dennis is there. He's going to be caught off guard here. Yeah, right on the corner. The Tech-9s start to come through. Good nade connection. Look at that. The Immortals are in trouble, but so is Oscar. And there we go. 2 big kills come in for Immortals. They are wounded. They're weak. But
to the
they
rotate back now.
Yeah.
That's the question here, and it looks like it. So I actually agree with that rotate, despite, of course, the CTs are going to know this. But Mousesports already had a couple of players rotated on that bomb side, and already one going straight in towards long, holding that position when they came out through the smoke. So they are setting themselves up for a more advantageous duel than the one that they would have on the A side, despite opening with 2 frags. And they're still waiting out, running out this clock here. No utility whatsoever. An MP9, and then just a full Tech 9 train.
Rops, you're playing such a dangerous game, and yeah, they've just spotted him. Oh no, it's a disaster. They just explode towards the site. The follow-up is perfect, and there's nothing to be done. ChrisJ's going to try and make something happen, but gets spotted out. KNG, even if he doesn't get the frag, he's got the information, and that's more than enough for now. That's going to send the alarm bells ringing. And Mousesports, what a disaster of a round. Everyone seems to be caught off at the worst times when they pushed up on long, and ChrisJ doesn't check it. There it is, steal.
You just feel for them because everyone has experienced that thing where, okay, you spot at a position, you have you gone out for like 10, 20 seconds, okay, they're not coming, you switch to the nade, the exact second you switch to the nade, they just all pop off. And that happened for 2, maybe 3 players in this round here from Mousesports. It's so hard to do anything against the Tech 9 that just comes rushing like that.
And look at the money as well for Mousesports now, it's pretty trashed. A couple of Deagles invested, P250s. Immortals have the upper hand here, but we know what these Deagles can do. We know what this guy, these guys are capable of. Rops already showed us that Deagle certainly got a little bit of fight to it, but still, Immortals, you've got to be smart in your approach. Let's see if that SK sort of vibe can be attached to this team as well. They're so methodical on these rounds.
So Mousesports, just a couple of Deagles, 5-7 and P250. What can they do with this? Right now they're stacked on the correct bomb site. If Immortals are showing us their true strat here, if it's actually going to be in B execute, so that's at least something for them. And they're just holding back positions. They don't want to overextend themselves and peak too much, while Immortals is just using their utility to kind of block off and get the CTs out of their best positions. Flashes are coming in now. It looks like the push is coming.
Yeah, ChrisJ right on the verge of this too. They both line up, but he can't get the shot done. Bolts and Lucas keep this one rolling. Rob's not going to land an easy one here either. That's a problem. You want that first quick connection back away from it? No. And again, we're down to 1 now. Oscar, that's 2. The 2's enough. 3 alive for the Immortals and around on the board, and that's the important factor.
And they're starting to take off now, the Immortals. Of course, having that great streak at the end of it where KNJ just went off, losing the pistol, but then bouncing back straight after that. It has to be so hard for Mousesports to mentally reset themselves, because usually you use the pistol round to mentally reset yourself and say, okay, now we got it, guys. Straight after that, to just get Tech 9 due to individual mistakes. And it's so hard to bounce back from that. Like, what are you going to say to yourself? Like, okay, I'll just try again. Like,
yeah,
it's impossible.
No easy answer, is there? And for Mousesports now, time to recuperate a little bit. Maybe take a bit of a breather in this round. 2 P250s invested. Immortals, plenty by the side. A Mac 10 as well. Lucas looking to make a bang for his buck. Steal carefully backs away just as they start to emerge. But look at this. Henny already working his way up here. Gets a spot by the door. Very well played.
I actually like that, even though it might have been a mistake for that smoke, but it actually allows him to go in because the smoke is still there blocking off, but he can get in close range without having the smoke, and then he can take that duel. And it works out very well for Immortals, who are now looking absolutely perfect here on Cobblestone and looking like to go through into the next game because they're on 13 rounds now, only 3 away from a victory.
Yeah, this has probably been the cleanest game we've seen so far. If it keeps up at this pace, that is, Mousesports can certainly get back into this. This is the first time we're going to see again that really nice buy coming in.
Is Lucas going to stay on the Mac 10 despite his teammates having like plenty of money to drop in an AK, despite them knowing that it's going to be a full buy?
You're 13-6. If you do anything with that Mac 10, you're doing so much work. And he knows that, well, they're not going to have head armor, they're going to have armor, but...
Yeah.
So he can do something. Even if you just get some sort of map control, it's a bit of a nuisance. Look how confident he is. He's just flying around. Now, yeah, he feeds Oscar, but he also sells the fact that it might be an A. He's kept 2 players very dedicated towards this. They don't know the information. They'll find out fast, though, because Bolt has found Robson now. Lol's put into the action. He's put in an awkward position. There's players left, there's players right, and there's one in drop, and he looks at the wrong one at the wrong time. And now we're down to 2 playing retake, and they were both the A players.
Yeah, and it works really well out in this round because he sells the fake like that. So I'll take that back, and that was actually a really nice decision from Immortals there, going for that play and get the bomb down. 4v2. Oscar, of course, going to save his AWP. Dennis should do the same as well, and with his weaponry, and it's going to be 14 rounds from Immortals, and they have a pretty good bank right now, and they don't actually need to worry about money for the rest of this game if it just goes as it is right now. So Immortals bouncing back into this one, and Mousesports, we all backed them, and they're not looking good right now.
Well, it looked a little flat, didn't it? It didn't have any big rounds coming for themselves. There was nothing beautifully tactical about what they were bringing either. It just feels maybe a little lackluster. You know, it's the first group stage game for them, but still, you don't. Oh no, they've lost out on the AWP as well.
Wow.
What a disaster. How much money do they have now on the Mousesports side? It's got to be pretty low.
That is
I think
a
it was
good
like
question.
4K max, I guess.
We're going to find out in a second after we see this replay here of Bolts just coming into the side, just completely clearing it.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that they peek out of drop zone at the same time as he's coming down from plateau.
And Immortals are almost on full money, and you can see Mousesports is by. This is horrible to watch. Mousesports are really struggling. Sound is going to be, you know, information gathered though. Christian's going to hear all the steps towards B platform, but what are you going to do to stop it now if you're Mousesports?
Oh, that's a good beginning. But just as that happens, the rest of the Immortals just bomb rush the bomb side, and Bolts is just doing work right now. 3v2. And a chance for Mousesports to retake.
All right, they can do a boost. Who's boosting who? Get in there. Oh, no, he's too close to the ledge. That was awkward. There we go. All right, Christian makes it through. He can now do a little something, but there's going to be a player on the platform, and you know it, but no.
Nice.
Bolts wasn't all that aware of this being a possibility, so he falls. And now the next player on the stairs tries to take his timing at the right point, and now Lucas, oh, here we go, Christian, let's do this, 1v1. I need to find bombs planted and ticking fast. He doesn't have much time on this. No kit to hand either. Oh, he's made a poor guess, a poor choice, and Henny positions well. And Immortals ruining that round. You can see Christian frustrated, and you can't blame him.
Did such a good job up until that. Correct decision making, using the Molotov, actually forcing out the CT, playing that close range in an off angle with the Max 7 as well. Like, really nice round from Christian, but in the end, in a 1v1, it's a gamble pretty much.
Yeah, you roll a dice, and sadly it didn't work out well for him. Finally, we get a double AWP buy, but it's still lackluster. Mousesports' economy has been so shambolic throughout this entire game. You've got to feel that maybe if they had a bit more of a stable money situation through this, they could have done something more, but it's just not been the case. Now Lucas wants to take this one home, already lingering out towards Plat, but backs away from it. Smoke comes in, and Immortals finally have to slow down a touch.
Yeah, that's probably also like a calm and collected voice in the team just saying, don't rush this, we got plenty of time, there's no reason for us to give anything away. And once again, like as we talked, like it's kind of like they're the smaller brother of SK, which has the same like mentality to things. We don't want to give the other team a chance to come back into the game. We want to play this safe because we know we're the best team. And that's exactly what Immortals are doing right now. Just running down the clock, making sure that if the CTs want to make mistakes, they're going to allow it, and then they're going to capitalize on it. If not, then they're going to do their own execute and focus on their own strengths.
KNG does have a molly left. There's a player in that. Ooh, nice shot from Oscar. No cheeky flank coming through. Lol chooses the time to back away well, though. Smoke comes out, and the hit looks pretty likely now from the Immortals running through. The molly's still burning, and it's not quite extinguished the fire, so they have to back away from this. Lucas moves away. Flash still comes through, though. They're still trying to sell like there might be some attention here, but with Lowell in this position, they get a lot of the info. 30 seconds left now. They need to make this hit count.
The bomb is rotating towards the other bomb site right now, and so is the rest of the terrorist team. From Immortals, and Bolt is in this perfect middle position here. He's going to have to make a lot of noise.
Oscar, no, you bank on hitting these shots, and there we go. Finally, oh no, it's traded. KNG is there. This is now looking terrifying. 9 seconds. KNG, what a shot, but where's the bomb? It goes down, and now a 2v2. And KNG is feeling this. Player in Connectory now knows it. He holds the angle. He gets the frag, and now one man stands. KNG knows where he is as well, but he doesn't need to do it. Lucas was there. And a definitive scoreline. Immortals looking very strong at this point. They came into that, it looked a little close to begin with, but Mousesports gave him a second to breathe, and the Immortals just choked him out.
Yeah, and what a game from KNG as well. Like, he's the player that everyone wants to see here, and same as Rob's is from Mousesports, and he just delivered a monster game right now to take him out. That's absolutely insane from him. Yeah. The AWPing was on point, I have to say as well. Bolts did a really good job also. He's not one of the players that you highlight so much, especially on this game, but I have to say his general rotation around the map and helping his teammates out was absolutely on point. And just Immortals in general, surprising us, surprising the devs, and hopefully surprising a fan or two at home.
No, I've got to say, seeing the first couple of games during the Dallas tournament where KNG was put into this sort of environment where, you know, he started showing a lot of firepower potential, which kind of took us all by surprise. You know, we knew he was going to be good, but we didn't know what he could really bring throughout. But his AWPing potential on that CT side was absolutely outstanding. So hope to see a bit more of that. But I also feel for Mousesports, their money never got going on that CT side, so it always just felt like there were this uphill battle they never quite had a chance to get into. So I don't know, it felt a little bit of a shame on that one.
It's incredibly hard when you trade round for round on that CT side and get that economy going. So of course you feel for Mousesports, but then again, they lost a couple of rounds they probably shouldn't have. They made a couple of mistakes, so it's fair enough. And Immortals played really well, so they'll probably be thinking about this. Okay, this is a loss. Of course, that sucks, but it is not a loss that we threw away per se. It was actually justified.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be taken away from this game, so hopefully they can go back and just kind of recoup. Again, it's your first showing during the group stages, so it's not too surprising if some teams get a little bit of a slower start. Ideally for Mousesports with this roster, though, you want that hot start, because we know that sometimes they do have a couple of players who'll maybe struggle in certain environments, so you've got to hope that they kind of get into the mood early, let's put it that way, and they don't get that kind of like, oh, this is not a good tournament for us.
Hopefully they can do that and bounce back into the game, but yeah, Immortals, as we said, they have a pretty big tournament ahead of them, I think.
Well, if their form keeps up, we're going to be hearing from these guys a lot. But let's head down to the stage now and hear from Parla and the interview.
That is correct, Pansy. I'm here with Zach and also a special guest in the form of KNG. Now, Zach, I'll be speaking to you, but you'll also be translating for our friend. Firstly, I'd like to ask you, is there any pressure on your shoulders, technically being the reigning DreamHack Summer champions from 2016?
Actually, no. This is a new lineup. We changed 2 players, and a lot of things changed since last year. So there's no pressure. The only pressure is to show that we adapted really good with KNG and show that we are on our A game right now.
And talking about new lineups, I'd like to ask KNG how he's finding being on the team and fitting in.
Como que você está se adaptando no time? Como que você está se sentindo no time?
Eu tô jogando com os caras que são muito parceiros, muito amigos, então eu tô me adaptando muito rápido para fazer o que eu gosto, que é jogar CS, então é bem fácil.
I'm playing with 6 guys that are very friendly. Everybody's real friends. So I'm doing everything I can to do what I love to do, which is play Counter-Strike.
And now, Zach, you guys are coming off a performance that has recently secured you a spot on the qualifier for the major. Now you're here at a competition for some prize, like larger prize money on the line and a trophy. What would it mean for you guys to win here at DreamHack?
It's going to be a test for the major qualifier, which is like our ultimate goal, but it means a lot. It means we didn't win a single trophy this year, so yeah, we want that one.
And for KNG, how important is it for him to start bringing in titles new to the team?
Quão importante para você é trazer títulos para o time?
Muito importante, é tudo que a gente busca.
It's very important. It's everything we search for.
All right, and I've asked our other winning teams today, and I'll ask you the same. Where are you hoping to place? Of course, you want to be #1, but realistically, what kind of range would you be disappointed if you didn't fall in at this tournament?
To be honest, when we play ECL Pro League last week, I was okay leaving the group stage because we are not prepared, but this event, I will not be happy if we don't get top 2.
All right, does KNG agree?
Top 2, no mínimo?
No mínimo. Mas a gente vai em busca do top 1. A gente quer o top 1.
Minimum top 2, but we're gonna go to top 1 for sure.
There we go. Zach, KNG, thank you so much. Absolute pleasure, as always, to speak to you and to you for the first time. Wonderful to speak to KNG and get his opinions and thoughts. Zach, always so good at talking on camera. For now, let's head back to Alex and the guys on desk to break everything down.
Thank you so much, Parla. Yes, indeed. Immortals do it, and we have to go ahead, get a knife and fork, and start digging into our words, because we've got to eat them. One person here on the desk did predict the Immortals win. Now, if I remember correctly, it was yourself.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. Let's, however, understand where this came from. Expectations were set quite high for Mouse, and we got to see very little, quite a deflating performance from them. However, what did you expect that you didn't get? Is my question.
Well, a better way of dealing with KNG, but
yes,
again, it's very hard to negate that kind of a player when he's hitting that kind of a stride. That was just absolutely unreal. You know, obviously props to Steel as well. He had a really, really good game. I was actually surprised by the fact that we got to see, you know, a much more powerful CT side out of Immortals. Normally they do most of their work on their T side, so it's really impressive to see that they've actually, you know, hunkered down, sorted out their CT side to a much bigger degree. Because normally when you watch Immortals play Cobble, it's just you're expecting the 13 B rushes in a row on T side, and they're probably going to win 11 rounds or something like that, and then they scrape out a couple of rounds on the CT side. This time it was just like a more all-around game that was just very impressive to watch.
Impressive sound like the right word to use for their CT side?
For sure, and it was all the players who contributed. Like Steel had an amazing game, Bolt had a fine game. Obviously KNG, we saw it. To me, it's very fun to see because I haven't seen him play that much, and I expect you haven't either. You know, he's sort of new to this level, sort of new to this scene. So every time we get to see him play like this, then that's like good news for Immortals, that's good news for us, and it seems like he's just like...
There are so many players that just appear out of Brazil and start dropping bodies.
Yeah, it's, the coolest part is like KNG has been in Europe for a while as well, because he played for, if I'm not mistaken, Red Reserve, when they had a Brazilian team that actually went over to Europe, played a couple of online tournaments, but didn't really make any sort of impact, and then fast forward a couple of months, KNG's in Immortals, he's dominating people.
Jeez, he's quick.
It's, yeah, no, he's one hell of a player.
If we'd have just changed that name to Henny, I'd have been like, business as usual, Henny's having a game. But it turns out that copy and paste our statement, KNG seems to be, I mean, at least in this game, let's not, not speak in too wide sweeping statements, but a fantastic performance on the AWP.
Yeah, no, and he was a similar way, or played in a similar fashion at the NA minors as well.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, and when he plays like that, he kind of just dwarfs Henny completely. Like, honestly, I didn't really notice a whole lot of Henny, but then again, there wasn't really much necessity to have everyone on Immortals necessarily, having amazing moments because he was doing pretty heavy lifting. So it's very encouraging because for Immortals it just means that they have more strings to play off of, right? Yeah. And if KNG might have an off game, maybe that's the time where Henny steps up and still brings the same kind of impact where you want, because normally teams run into the issue that if you only have a solo opera, or you have that secondary opera who's not really an opera but he's not afraid to pick it up, it's not going to have the same kind of an impact as your main opera actually having a good game. Now with Immortals, they more or less have two main operas that can actually, more or less swing a game in your direction.
I mean, let's kind of compare this to the CLG discussion, because we had it before, we got Ricky and Kusta, who are very, very both competent on it. The same kind of thing can be said for Immortals. So my question is if you've got a team that's reliant on having at least, double AWPs to an extent, or at least one of them on an AWP, does that make the early game even more important, Jacob, just because they need to start?
It does make it more important. I think, like, you said it before the game, like, I'm scared on the ways of Immortals, because, like, if you're second primary AWPer is better than your primary AWPer, then you're causing tensions. Yeah. KNG playing this game, like, he blew out Henny from the server, and arguably that could be the other way around next game, we don't know, but like if you have such a competent secondary AWP, which he is meant to be, right, that's gonna cause problem. And I think, like, let's say Henny loses his confidence, like you've seen it with Kusta and Liquid, like it goes so fast, and that's dangerous, because Henny, we praised him before this game, like he's amazing, but if he loses that like fire and that like feeling for the game, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, especially because at that point, what kind of purpose does he actually serve?
It's so weird. Suddenly you've got like an internal competition in the team. Like, and I have to perform, and then you've got one AWP to drop, but it's like, who gets it?
It starts off as a luxury problem, because obviously you have two extremely good operas, which is, nobody's going to say no to that. But obviously if one of them falls off because the other gets prioritized, then again, that becomes a bit of an issue for you.
Look at Na'Vi. Look at Na'Vi, where basically it was Guardian Simple and Cobble, Simple, you go over there, and I'll do that. And they ended up just having to say, Simple, you're a rifler now. Maybe if we have two, you'll play with it. But like, you have to, there must be a really clear decision. Otherwise, that blurred line can cause a multitude of problems. Interesting. Still a big victory for Immortals. One final point before we do go, though. Mousesports. Not the end of the world, Jacob, would you say?
Not the end of the world, not considering who they're going up against next game. They have time to fight back, and I think, like, the map also favored Immortals. Like, Cobble is a very strong map for Immortals, so we might not have seen like how strong Mousesports actually is. It is only a best of one, and we saw Immortals being very strong, Could be Mousesports is turning up on another map.
We'll find out, indeed. Singularity will be waiting for Mousesports in that lower bracket. We get to see that best of three, and we'll get to see exactly who can flex their muscles on that one. Already they caused a bit of a stir versus SK. I'm excited to see more from the Danes. Of course, did make an impact, or at least the majority of them, over in Copenhagen. Now they stand in Jönköping. All right?
Nice.
Pretty all right.
Can I have it properly?
Jönköping. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. My Swedish is coming on fantastically. We are going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we venture back into the other group. Group B stands between us and some more Counter-Strike. It will be none other than Cloud9 and Fnatic doing battle. And if you want to be playing a little bit like Fnatic, if you want to get some of that Olofmeister flair, perhaps Boomio is the platform for you, one of the sponsors here at the event. It's your CSGO training academy. Go play some duels and start climbing up their ladder. Anyway, let's take a break. When we come back, Cloud9 Fnatic, and I'm sure the Swedish crowd are in for a surprise.